you guys, welcome back to my garden. So as you saw, I was just putting in this little retaining wall that's over my shoulder. I got 30 blocks from Home Depot and basically very, I don't know, imperfectly, I guess, laid them around the backside of this bed. I'm next to our front steps, and this bed for forever has given me fits. It's given me struggles. One of the things that I finally realized that bothers me about it is how much it slopes down into underneath our front porch and underneath the steps. And so I was thinking, if I just put some sort of retaining wall ish behind it, leveled out the bed, so that I was working with more of a flat surface to retain the water better, give it some sort of I don't know, definition on the backside, that maybe that would help. So got the retaining wall in yesterday, just kind of leveled out the ground a little bit, used a level as best I could. It's quite hard clay once it dries, so I think that the stones will just kind of stay where they're placed, I hope. And so then my plan for today is basically to get the beds cleaned up, weed obviously, but I'm going to fix all the drip. This is a bed that I took stuff out of last year and moved it, so the drip is kind of all unnecessary, a little bit willy-nilly, and then the arbs behind me don't have drip ran to them. So I need to get the drip figured out, simplified, cleaned up, fixed, and then I will water it really well, I think with the sprinkler, just to kind of saturate the whole area on either side, and then I will lay mulch over it. I might actually also move some plants that are up here. I don't know, we'll see where the project takes me, but I'll show you really quick just the area, and then we're just going to dive in and get started. Okay, so here's to the left of the front steps. As you can see, there's the little retaining wall that I put in. It just kind of curves around, meets up with the post there in the back, and goes right behind these arbs. So one thing is the dogs always go through this area and to get underneath the front steps. So I kind of need to leave a little bit of a path right here. But my plan is I have another deutzia, and I think I'm going to bring it up and plant it in right here, and then just leave this spot right here for the dogs. And then a big part of what I'm going to be doing after I clean the bed up, fix the drip, is I'm going to bring in a bunch of this compost that I have. I have a kind of a pile of it that I leveled out. Actually looks like a garden bed, but nothing's planted in it. And so I'm just going to be taking the mulch off of that. It's just garden compost basically. And I'm going to be raising up this bed. I'm going to be meeting the bed up with the top of this retaining wall here, so that you won't even be able to really see the back of it. And the same thing with over here behind the arbs, because that is a slant, and I just was thinking I would really like for this garden bed to be a little bit flatter. So you can see what happens. This bed is so dry, even though this is a paniculata hydrangea. I believe it's quickfire, I think. The leaves are just browning out, and it's just really dry. I definitely need to get the drip set up so that I can nicely saturate the soil every once in a while. So that's the plan for this side. And then over here on this side, same thing, just need to fix the drip. But I'm thinking it's not the best time to do this, but it's bothering me, so may just go ahead and do it anyways, is move some of these grasses forward. I don't know, just retool this bed a little bit. This bed has given me such a challenge over the years, and I feel like I'm making some progress forward, but I don't know. I definitely know that mulch always helps, and I definitely need to get the drip fixed. I definitely need to do some weeding. There's a nice big dandelion in there. Yeah, so I need to be able to water this better. I need to be able to treat the arbs a little better if I want them to, do their thing. And honestly, this is just kind of a project that I've been putting off. I did need to order drip supplies, so once those came from Drip Depot, I felt like I was more equipped to get this project underway. So yeah, so I'm just gonna, like I said, start with cleaning up the beds and kind of just go from there. All right, you guys, just a quick update on where we're at. So as you saw, I weeded just a little bit, cleaned up the area a little bit, clipped out the drip that I knew was damaged. So our last summer and fall, for some reason, our puppy decided that he didn't like where there was little drip emitters on this drip tube here and on several other areas in the garden. So he would bite out the drip tube, or the drip emitter from the tube. So sometimes it left the plastic part in the tube. Sometimes it pulled the whole thing out. Other times he would chew off the 1/4 inch tube that was coming off of the supply line. He just kind of made a mess of it. And I could kind of generally see where it took the brunt of his, I don't know, demolition, I guess. And so just cut out those areas. So then hopefully I can retain what was in there that was still in good shape, so that I only have to add in areas that that needed to be fixed. So let me just show you really quick the little bit of the changes that I made and kind of talk you through it, and then we'll move on with the next part of this project. Okay, so this is the side that we were just working on, and as you saw, I did plant in another deutzia, which actually ended up being 3 deutzia, because this one right here in the back that I dug out of the front bed that's right along our driveway, right over there beyond Charlie, it actually had 3 plants in it. I don't know if it was naturalizing. I don't know if it just happened when they were creating, you know, the original plant to be sold. But anyway, there were 3 plants in there. So I separated them out. There's one right here. There's one little guy right here. And then the main plant is obviously right there in the back. So this one right here is one that was really, really leggy. I planted it in earlier this spring. Super, super leggy. So I cut that back and it's actually starting to bloom again. So I don't know. I know that I want to love deutzia. I have yet to see it perform as it should in my garden, probably because I keep moving it and treating it like I am right here. So I'm going to give this a little bit. I'm going to give it a couple seasons, I hope, to see what it can do, and just kind of go from there. I'm hoping that this is still enough space for the dogs to kind of maneuver through. I think it will be. I mean, deutzia, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a path that I think that they will try to generally take. So let's look over here at the other side. So over here, it would probably look better if I had another Deutzia there, but we'll see. There's already 3 lining this area. I moved forward the heuchera and I clustered forward the carex that's in this spot. So this is where I was kind of struggling because, you know, it looks like there needs to be something right there. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it should be at this point, but I do like clustering forward the heuchera and the carex right here. I think that looks better. And then I'll place in these stepping stones again right into that spot so that the dogs can get through. So I might have to think about it and think about something cool to put right there that can kind of get taller and narrow and just block in that spot. And then up in the front where I took the Deutzia from, I'm going to put in another one of the Percy Wiseman rhododendrons that I purchased a while ago. I've had it just sitting kind of in a back container by my garden shed, but I knew that I wanted to put it there because that spot just needed something that gets a little higher, since Deutzia, this variety anyway, just stays sort of low. I think it's just like 2 feet by 2 feet, just kind of that sprawling, you know, wide, low habit. So I wanted something taller up there anyways, and there's 3 other Percy Wiseman along the driveway. So I thought that would be a good spot for that evergreen rhododendron to go. So, but I'll have to bring in a little bit more soil there when I plant that guy in. So I didn't go ahead and put it in the ground yet. So much soil came out when I took out the Deutzia that it left too much of a hole. I need to bring in some more to plant in the shrub. So now I think I'm going to fix the drip. I'm going to just add in a couple more lines to get to the arbs, to make sure that all the plants that I moved around are getting water, and also to make sure I put a line around the hydrangea that's right here in the front. Because as of right now, that guy has absolutely no water coming to it, neither do the arbs. The line that goes all along the front of here is still working, but I haven't been running it because obviously the back part was all holy and wrong and all that stuff. So that is my next step, to come in here and get all the drip fixed. Okay, I think that I have all of the drip fixed, run to all the plants, and now it's just time basically to test it. I will turn on the water, see if it's spraying anywhere crazy, kind of tracking it to see that it's getting to all of the plants well, and fixing anything if needed. So basically, what I did is just I cut in right around here, and there was a little sprayer, little sprinkler that I just twisted to turn that off. And then I just did an elbow there, and it goes right along each of the arbs. And at least at each of the arbs, there's a two-gallon emitters going right to the root ball. So hopefully that will disperse through the soil and give those each a really good, nice soak each time that I water. Which won't be too often in this bed. I just don't run the drip irrigation very often. I more so just spot water things that have been newly planted. But maybe like once a week or so, I'll run the drip for each bed during the summer because we basically get no rain at all here in this area during the summer. So all of these along the front here primarily had the line that's going by them that has a drip emitter in the line. If it didn't have one right next to the plant, I just went ahead and put in a 1 gallon per hour emitter. There's one going, you can see, to that little Deutzia. There was already one going to this one right here, and then I ran one to each of these. To this one, there was already the line going right next to it, so I just did a 1/2 gallon per hour emitter directly to the root ball. And then also ran up a line to go underneath this cypress that's in the pot right here, and then also one that goes around with the 1/4 inch drip tube that has the emitters in it. I think every 6 inches or so around the hydrangea. So that just loops right around the root ball. And then I also did connect it back up to the container that is right there. Same type of thing over on this side. Again, just ran the line right by the arbs in the back. I gotta get that line out of there. But yeah, just looped around the hydrangea. I sent one over here to the spirea that's there, brought it up forward, had to run. I actually just used a line that I cut out from this spot. These just have the emitters, inline emitters hooked into this 1/4 inch tube. You can see right there. So there's one going to right to each root ball of these heuchera. They're quite dry. They're kind of sad. I also moved that nepeta back there. I don't know if it'll be happy back there, but I didn't want it right here, so just might as well move it. So yeah, so everything is hooked up, I think. And so I'm just gonna go turn on the water. I'll show you how this setup right here is hooked up to the water, and we'll check that it's all working. Okay, so right back here on this hose bib, I have it split, and this one actually goes down into the ground and goes right into the garden. This is the only one that I have that does that. All the other ones I have to hook the hose directly up to. So I just have this T here, open this up, turn the water on. This is a pressure regulator, so it's only coming out at, oh my gosh, my fingernails. It's only coming out at 25 PSI. Oh, I hear something very loud. Right there. Okay, so here's the problem. It got slit right here. So I think I'm going to have to cut here and just put in a little chunk to replace that, because this is right at the edge of the little drip emitter plastic, you know, that's in there. So I'll have to put in another emitter for this guy and just remove this whole chunk. Okay, got that spot fixed, and then I was just kind of looking around to see if there was any areas that looked like they were spraying like crazy. A little harder to tell up here in the front because I already watered these, but I think it looks okay. So I'm going to go turn on the water again, and hopefully all is well so that we can get to mulching, because that'll make it look a lot better. there's an issue right here as well. So I will have to cut into that spot also. And coming over here, I see we have an issue right here, spraying straight up out of that spot. So to come and fix that too, but that actually feels pretty good. Okay, got that one done. This one looked like it had just been a hole that had an emitter there and that my dog must have plucked out. And so I just kind of redid the hole and put in a drip emitter there. So now we should be good to go again. Third time's a charm. Let's hope it works. Okay, it looks like everything is working well. I do have one here that I should take out because it's basically watering nothing. So I should take that out. But you can see these ones that are doing the ARBs, how much that's coming out. That's because those are 2 gallon an hour emitters. So they kind of, come out a lot more substantially. But the hydrangea is getting it really well. This guy's getting it well. So I've had it running for a little while now. And like I said, everything looks like it's getting the water pretty well. Up at the top of the bed though, the flow doesn't seem to be as high. I don't know. The pressure may diminish, as it's coming up this little bit of a hill. So I might have to troubleshoot that and see what's going on there. But I think for now, I'm just going to go ahead and put in the mulch. I will supplement water up here on this end if I need to. I do need to run something to the Rose of Sharon, so I'll have to address that as well. But for right now, I'm mostly just going to focus on getting this area that we've been working on mulched, raised up to fill in the area with the retaining wall, and yeah, hopefully just getting this area looking a little bit more tidy. All right, we are all done, and I think that it looks really nice. It feels really good for these plants to all have drip run to them and to be covered in compost as their mulch. So I'll just show you the finished product and we'll wrap this project up. Okay, well, with the Deutzia not looking great, it's hard to totally see the effect of this project. But um, yeah, I just think it looks a lot better with the mulch down, and especially from the other side. It's harder to tell from here, but just having that little retaining wall separating out the garden bed from underneath the front porch, I feel like that's just something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. So I'm glad to have that done, and we'll go on the back side and take a look at what a difference that makes after we look over at this side, which I just feel like looks a lot better too with the plants pushed up towards the front. I rearranged some of the rocks just to make room for the mulch and for the plants to come forward a little bit. And then there's the stepping stones that go back there. And I actually do feel like that helps the dogs know where to go. They'll generally stay on those stepping stones, which is kind of funny. But this area, just like I said before, it's a challenging one, but I think I'm at an okay place right now. As we'll see what this hydrangea does. If it is what I think it is, it should get actually pretty large and could really fill in this space. If you didn't see before the video where I put this lemon cypress here, it was previously here in this spot. These containers, there's this one and then this one on the other side of the front steps. I previously had them up on our front porch, but when I wanted to plant those ones up with annuals, I moved these here and then consequently just moved these containers back here. So that's not where these ones will stay indefinitely. So yeah, it's just a work in progress. I think that it would be really pretty to find some perennials that maybe would go right in there. I always think of this area as, needing shrubs, but maybe some perennials would look really nice in there. Maybe some tall veronica or maybe some tall phlox. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, it's better than what it was. That is for sure. So from the backside, it's not very impressive underneath here. I just laid these out so that our cats would stop going to the bathroom underneath here. But anyway, I just have the backs of the little retaining walls here, and you can see that the mulch comes up to the top of them, just really leveling out this bed. Hopefully you can tell that. Whereas before it was really, really slanted off and would make watering difficult. So now hopefully this will keep the water in a little easier and just, define the edge of the bed. It would be kind of fun to, add some of the stones up around the base of these posts, but I don't know. This is practical. This is mostly practical. It's not really cosmetic. So it's hopefully going to serve its purpose. And then it would be nice to maybe even continue this though off around the back of the Rose of Sharon and just really define the bed from the rest of the space around it. So looks nice. I think I'm happy with it, and I'm glad to have this project wrapped up. So that's going to do it for me for today out here in the garden. It was a beautiful day. It was nice and cool, kind of breezy. It felt really good just to be outside, and really good to get this project wrapped up and to just make a little bit of a dent in this front garden and help it to feel like it has a little bit more purpose and intention. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out with me while I did this project, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.